Benny Johnson and Destiny recently went at it in a heated debate on Piers Morgan's show, Piers Morgan Uncensored. Here we have this tweet from Benny Johnson himself saying, Joe Biden supporter told me, he's talking about Destiny here, told me that Donald Trump is demonic on live TV. Not going to let that stand, fam. I had to do it. We call this beast mode Benny. Benny Johnson and, like I said, Destiny went really hard at each other. This got pretty heated on Piers Morgan's show, Piers Morgan Uncensored. Let's check out this clip here, tweeted out by Benny Johnson himself, from the interaction between him and Destiny. Let's check this out.
So for all the rhetorical issues around Trump and the supposed meanness, there are tens of millions of Americans who are queuing up to vote for him.
Yeah, so let's talk about tens of millions. I particularly take quite a bit of umbrage with the description of Donald Trump as demonic. I think that is quite shocking as a Christian myself, to call somebody demonic like Donald Trump, who's actually against the 10 million people who have been human smuggled into this country, many of them children. I remember a time not too long ago when people the left cared about children in cages. Yet now they're calling Donald Trump demonic. He wants to stop these human smuggling by the cartels. Have you ever been down to the border, Destiny? Have you seen the rape trees? Have you seen the little children's toys that are left down there from the human smuggling that is created by Joe Biden, the biggest human smuggler in human history? Do you know the carnage and the horror that is being created by those policies? Let's not even talk about what Joe Biden has done to the world.
I want you to pay attention to Destiny's body language here, by the way. While Benny Johnson is talking about these horrific things that's happening at the border, you know, that the things that are Joe Biden's fault, the person who Destiny is trying to argue to Piers Morgan and Benny Johnson is the better president between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Destiny is literally laughing as Benny Johnson is describing these things. He's laughing, like, look at his body language right now. He's just like, you could tell he just doesn't care about what Benny Johnson is saying. He doesn't care about any of the things that Benny Johnson is describing as happening at the border under Joe Biden's watch. Just take a close look at Destiny while Benny Johnson is talking here.
Donald Trump brought world peace. You're going to talk about Kurds and wars? How about Ukraine? Joe Biden could have stopped that war before it even started. Joe Biden continues that war and continues the funding of that war that is leading to the wholesale slaughter of an entire region. Joe Biden could stop it right now. Joe Biden has brought war around the world. And then let's talk about the fentanyl poisoning America. You want to talk about cruelty? It took Joe Biden 400 days to go to East Palestine in Ohio, a city that was poisoned by our federal government in a chemical explosion, much less the chemical explosion that is happening all throughout America with fentanyl slaughtering 100,000 Americans. And the final thing I'll say here, how dare you call Donald Trump demonic when Joe Biden hasn't even said
Look at him, dude. Look at Destiny. He's literally laughing as Benny Johnson is describing all these atrocities and things that Joe Biden is lacking.
Lincoln Riley's name correctly, called her Lincoln Riley when he was forced to. This woman was slaughtered by a criminal alien who was in this country illegally, who was released by Democrats and went on to slaughter a nursing student in Georgia with his bare hands.
If you enjoy content like this, then please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
And Joe Biden apologized to the murderer. How dare you say, that Donald Trump's demonic? Can you defend any of that behavior? Final thing I'll say here is Joe Biden wouldn't acknowledge his own grandchild. Even the New York Times said that is a sick, evil behavior. So if you're looking for demonic behavior, my friend, I got it for you. It's sitting in the White House in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in a diaper right now during nap time.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a speech right there, man. That was like, I don't know. I don't watch too much of Benny Johnson. I do watch a good bit of him, and I'm a fan. I haven't seen him get that heated before, personally. Let me know in the comments if he does that often. I haven't seen him get that heated before, and he was spot on with everything that he said. You know, and Destiny was getting nervous. You could tell he's laughing at certain atrocities. That's because he's nervous. It's not because he actually thinks it's funny. It's because he knows that everything that Benny Johnson's saying here is right, and Destiny is wrong in this situation. In regards to the Joe Biden saying Lincoln Riley instead of Laken Riley stuff, I think that situation might be the worst one out of all of them in terms of like his presentation to the public. Like, yes, he stumbled before, he's messed up reading words of a teleprompter, he's said utter nonsense a ton of times. The Laken Riley one, saying Lincoln Riley, might be the worst, because not only did he say it once and like misspeak, in that speech he literally said Lincoln and then he stuttered and said Lincoln again. He said Lincoln Riley, a girl who was murdered by an illegal. Yes, like he said that. And then not only that, but he goes and does an interview after and apologizes to the criminal, like Benny Johnson said. Apologizes to the illegal immigrant for calling him illegal. Doesn't apologize to Laken Riley's family. Doesn't apologize about calling Laken Riley Lincoln Riley. Apologizes to the person who committed the crime. That's probably the worst presentation, mistake that Joe Biden has made so far, and who knows what's to come in the future.
Okay, that's what I call a rebuttal. Let's come to Dave Smith. Before we do, let's play that clip that Benny referenced. This is when Joe Biden, in the State of the Union address, did not pronounce Laken Riley's name properly.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really. Lincoln Riley.
You see what I'm talking about? He says Lincoln Riley. Like, listen closely. Watch one more time. He truly thinks that her name is Lincoln Riley. Like, he believes that fully.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right.
Now, Dave, the issue for Biden.
If I may.
Sorry, Benny?
If I may, just since I brought up the clip, if you don't mind, Piers.
Sure.
Could I ask Destiny right now, would you like to apologize to Laken Riley's family for her murder, since it's open border Democrat policies that you promote on your program? Would you like to apologize to the parents of Laken Riley for the murder of her
child? The
child?
virtue signaling is off the charts. I didn't kill anybody, so I'm not going to apologize to anybody for somebody getting killed.
But there are
unfortunately, there are a lot of
policies
people that get killed in the United States for a large variety of reasons. If anybody gets killed, especially based on the background of this guy, this guy definitely should have been deported. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. But hey, listen, if you want the border stuff to be cleared up so much, why don't you tell Republicans to stop turning into a game in the White House or in Congress and actually approve legislation to get more funding down for the border?
Okay.
Right now, it's Republicans who pulled the plug on that because Trump wants to maintain the one little bit of electoral advantage you might have, which is you guys trying to stir stuff up over the border. And it's funny also how you frame this all like, oh, they're trying to stop human smuggling. No, they're not. They're just trying to secure the border. Humans are going to be smuggled all over the place, regardless of whether it's into America or not. It's not like Trump actually cares about it.
Dude, does he not see the idiocy in what he's saying right here? Like, Destiny is saying that because Donald Trump and Republicans and people like Benny Johnson and the rest of them want to stop human smuggling at our American border, it doesn't matter because human smuggling is still going to happen around the world. Are you that stupid? We can't control the laws in other countries unless we invade them and take control of the country and then change the laws. We can't control what they do. What we can control is what's happening on our side of the American border. And if that stuff is happening, these atrocities are happening on our side of the American border, then it needs to be stopped. Like, is it that crazy to understand for Destiny? Like, he really believes because Donald Trump only cares about stopping human smuggling on our side of the border, and Benny Johnson only cares about stopping human smuggling on our side of the border, that because of that, we don't care about what's happening in the rest of the world, or it doesn't matter because it's still going to happen in the rest of the world. Am I crazy for thinking that that's a really stupid stance from Destiny?
The truth, Destiny, what I would say about that is, whether you're on the left or right in America, nobody can dispute that the southern border is in complete and utter turmoil. And I'm afraid if you're the President of the United States and you've been there for 3 years, it's on you, right? He's done nothing to stop it. In fact, he's made it a lot worse.
You know it's getting bad whenever Piers Morgan is having to take a stance against your side. Piers Morgan, being the voice of reason, is never a good place to be for our society, unless Piers Morgan is drastically changing his stance and his views on politics. But him saying that Donald Trump needs to come back and Joe Biden needs to get out of there, and that the border crisis is Joe Biden's fault, and going against Destiny and what Destiny is saying in his debate with Benny Johnson, I mean, that's a sign that the world is really it's going downhill, man, when Piers Morgan is the voice of reason. Let me know what you guys think about this Benny Johnson and Destiny debate. I thought it was really great by Benny Johnson. I think he very obviously won. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking, though. Maybe some people think Destiny is actually winning and Destiny's making good points, but I don't know if there's anybody out there that truly exists that thinks that. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.